Hey guys, I'm Noah, and welcome to episode 3 of the Uncharted Archive podcast. I'm here with my co-host Cole and very special guest DeFy Petey.
Hey guys, this is me, Petey. It's really me.
Thought you were dead.
Here and breathing.
So, what have you been up to?
That was the last question I thought I was gonna get. Yeah. So I don't remember when I left, left the community, but it was really
2016. It's a long time ago.
Right. Of course, yeah, Cole knows all the Uncharted lore. Of course.
Of course.
It all written down. No, that's like me though. I mean, I was so into everything, and then I kind of just quit cold turkey. But I think that's the only way I could have done it, because there was a point that I was trying to fade away, and it was just I was too involved to be 50%. It was either everything I was given or nothing. I kind of stopped talking, which I feel bad about, because I really liked all you guys. So I hope people don't think I hated them because I stopped talking to them.
That's what I thought. Fucking did.
Yeah, but the difference is you were right about that, Cole. He does hate you. Seriously though, I think everyone understood that you were going off to school, growing up. You can't stick around and play Uncharted forever.
Well, he wasn't playing. He was just being Petey.
Doing shit. You know what I mean.
I mean, no, I figure everyone does understand, because this is what happens on internet communities like that. But it's still, it's sad to not get to talk to people a lot. So maybe, at least in the comments of this video, I will attempt to talk to people, and maybe I'll try to get on Discord more. But that's besides the point. What I've been doing is I graduated from college, because I've been going to school for the past years.
Oh, you graduated, sweet.
Right on. You were in communication or something, right? Or broadcasting?
Yeah. Video editing and production, and also marketing. So I took a bunch of different classes like that, and now I'm off into the real world.
How does it feel? You feel grown up yet?
And where's that taking you?
What everyone's life situation is right now, but I'm assuming most of you guys are still in school, and it is like a trip to not be in school anymore, because it's the summer. It's the summer right now, and I'm thinking when the fall comes, life kind of resets again, and you go back to the grind and everything. But that's not the case. Life is just endless now, but in a really scary way, because it's I don't know, it's just so much ahead of me. I have an internship right now, which isn't important. I don't need to talk about it, but eventually I'll get a job, and then it's just I'm at that job, and that's life. Kind of sucks. I don't know, but you find ways to have fun.
Yeah. If you find something you're passionate about, it's not a job. It's just something you love doing. At least that's what I hope to achieve one day.
I
think everyone can.
You're gonna hate your life, Noah.
Oh, thanks, Cole. You see, this is why we're such good friends. This kind of supporting relationship.
Yeah, I basically just call you a fucking,
are we gonna have a repeat of the Mercy episode? You can finish that sentence.
No, I can't. Okay. How do you feel about Gravity being 4 years old? What's your feeling towards that?
So 4 years old.
Yes, it came out 4 years ago.
That's what I kept trying to clarify before. Because 4 years feels so long ago.
It's crazy,
man.
Yeah.
So I think and still is, which is really cool. The climax of everything. Even if better stuff happened after Gravity, it's nice to have especially now that most of the Uncharted stuff is in the past. One video that you could just look at and feel everything was perfect. That video existing validates all the effort that we put into everything.
Yeah.
You guys weren't on the team for Gravity, right?
I joined the day before.
I remember how happy you were when you first joined the Skype chat. You were fanboying out.
I don't think that was
Cole, you were the epitome of a dude who's just always commenting on videos, and it's oh, this guy seems to really be into the clan, and then somehow you get into the clan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's dude, this is the kid that just comments on every video can I please play with you guys?
What the fuck? I never said those. I never said
dude, that's if we let the Starks become the third partner on our channel.
Exactly. Shoutouts to the Starks. Is he still commenting?
Yes, he still comments, dude.
Yep, he is. He's actually going to be on a future episode of the podcast too.
I know.
Against Cole's wishes. Yeah.
I don't want to.
Regardless, with Gravity and the fact that you guys weren't in the team at the time, I guess, or whatever, the build up to it was really like we went out of our way to say like this was going to be a big deal, which we'd never done before for a video. Like we had said, oh, we're going to upload a team Taj soon, but we never said like this is going to be it. Like we announced the date before we announced the video title or anything about it. You know, we were teasing like something's happening on July 20th. So we put like a lot of, you know, this video, and then when I think it actually like delivered and it actually was better than anything people had seen at the time, that's like what made it so legendary. And I think that's what, you know, that's what it takes for us to still be talking about it 4 years later.
Yeah, I was saying in another video that it was definitely my favorite edit just because of how impactful it was. Like that set the standards for all the other clans that, you know, and then that inspired all the other teams to make their own version of Gravity. And that brought the best montages like Gravity or Generations and what other shit. Crusade, yeah, a lot of good shit.
I feel like that was really when the community was at its peak, and I'm kind of sad that I sort of.
Well, I mean, you joined before the decline of the. Do you remember, Petey? Did you watch the fucking PSA or the Uncharted 3 Addiction? By the way,
watching it before we recorded this.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
What did you think of it?
Really?
You guys are like a little crazy. I don't even know. It was like cool. Like you guys, I liked how you guys are like editing these videos like real talk. Like the quality of your channel is definitely that of some channel that deserves attention. So I give you credit. I thought it was funny. I don't know.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it. I mean, yeah, that's kind of been the thing on our channel now is like we just sort of go out and do
like
dumb shit and be funny.
The topic is Uncharted 3, which is not going to get a lot of attention, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we've been trying to sort of move off of that, but it's hard because every time we do something else, everyone just comments, "Where's the Uncharted 3?"
No, but I get that because everyone that
3.
knows you guys knows you for that stuff.
You know,
so
yeah, no, like I don't blame them at all. It's just it's frustrating.
It's good to have fun, so I like it.
Yeah, it's funny. Oh, fuck. I can't.
Speaking of fun, I know we were kind of talking about this on Discord before we hopped on the call, but like, how do you feel overall about your experience in DeFi? Do you have any regrets?
Like, this is a fun thing for me to talk about because I'd always envisioned myself, you know, re-upping with the community like years down the line and saying like, those were the good old days, and now I get to finally do it.
Bet you didn't think we'd be the last one standing, eh?
Yeah, I know. I thought it would be, you know, maybe more respectable duo, but if this is the best I could do, then
hey, you know, I'll take any compliment I can get.
No, you guys are champions for sure. So the first thing I want to address quickly is something that you mentioned before, that Gravity was kind of the peak of the community, and I think types of peaks that the community had, and Gravity may have been one of them. Like I think Gravity was the purest, when like there was really nothing wrong. Like, you know, there was no, like, I don't even know. Hate sounds stupid because there wasn't that much hate to begin with, but everyone was just in good spirits. There was no negativity. But I think, like, you know, when Generations came out, for example, and then some of the editing contests and some of the recruitment challenges that were later on, those were like all really hype and got a lot of attention, and videos were getting a lot of views. So in terms of like popularity, I think you guys were around for like a little bit of a peak. Yeah. Definitely. So I don't think you like missed out on all the fun by any means, but you know that.
No, we didn't. Well, I remember when you uploaded a video on your channel. You're like, "Oh, and Uncharted Archive has been uploading a lot of content lately."
You remember that? Why? Were you happy that I said that? I can't even.
Oh, I was fanboying, man. I was so happy.
Well, it was funny because that was like right. Because that was right before we went dark.
That was like what? I think that was like the end of the Uncharted 3 days. So yeah, probably. But yeah, we were super active like towards the end of Uncharted 3, and then. Yeah, true.
Yeah, well, you mostly were, especially after you took over the channel, because you were mad at me for uploading Merge without enough effects on your clip.
So mad.
Okay, Petey, I have a question about this. Do you remember Cole trying to get me kicked out of Defy. I remember him telling me that he was messaging you guys and that you guys had agreed to let him kick me if I didn't get it finished soon enough.
Okay, I vaguely remember like they're not editing it fast enough, and him being like, "Yeah, it was taking too long," and we're like, "All right, let's put some pressure on him because he's going so slow." I don't remember us like being like, "Yeah, let's kick him." There was something like that, but
that might have been a bit of encouragement on Cole's part. I don't know if that was all truthful.
I was so mad.
I just found that hilarious.
Well, I was so pissed because
I don't blame you.
You added you added effects to your part and then you just didn't add part effects to mine. I was like, okay, and then I told you no, add effects to mine. You're like, okay, and then you add more effects to yours and none to mine, and then you upload it.
No, I added a couple to yours. I added a couple little like screen flashes and stuff, but I know that
on Cole's clip.
That whole thing from start to finish was just
a mess.
Such a mess. Yeah. Between my computer dying, all this shit that happened, it was just I still kind of feel bad about that, but I think overall, like the end product.
Well, yeah, the thing is, if that came out a year when it should have, it would have been so much better. Like
when it should.
Because like the clips I hit too, like they were so old. Like most of them were like from early 2015 and late 2014, and they didn't get seen until the day Uncharted 4 came out. So
they were good. Like even that double jump snipe was pretty impressive.
Double
I think.
hit marker.
Double hit marker. Sorry, yeah. I think there's only been one actual double jump snipe.
Yeah.
Like in the history of the game.
Oh no, yeah, no.
Well, at least that we've seen.
Have you seen double jump snipes, Petey?
Yeah, I think I saw a second one. I remember who hit it.
Oh, the myth.
Yeah.
The legend.
Too long ago for me to try and say the name, so I'm just gonna say I think there was a second one. But Sushi's was better anyway. Sushi's was legendary. First of all, I have a few things to say on everything that was just discussed. First of all, Merge is a great montage, and even at the time that it came out, I loved it. I definitely realized that like it's crazy how like the clip standards, especially in that last year, they were like rapidly growing to the point that like only like squares were actually good. Like I had to stop trying to say I'm a clip hunter because I couldn't keep up, and very many other people were that way too.
Yeah.
I ended up loving Merge. That was great. I was gonna make a joke about how you don't need to add effects to the Coles clips because the effect is that they're hit by an autistic kid. You know? I like that I could just say like really stupid, ignorant stuff on this, and I don't even feel bad because it's like gonna get 200 views and.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
I'm so mean right now.
Yeah, I mean, no, but like, why do you think we said so much stupid shit in our past couple of videos?
Very true. I know this is just a complete like. Here's the thing, right? I'm very aware that a lot of the stuff I say this is actually another point because I think about this a lot. That I mean, for the most part, I was like a pretty mature member of the community, but I'm sure there's some like really stupid, toxic stuff that like I had put out onto the internet. And now that I'm like entering, like I said, the real world and the workforce, all this old community stuff, like if someone discovers it, they might be able to find something pretty incriminating that I've said. Like, hey, don't give this guy a job, he called this guy fat or something way worse. I don't remember what I would say.
Dude, if they went to watch your fucking Petey's Thoughts #2, they would never hire you. Oh my god.
Petey's Thoughts #2.
Wait, which one was that again?
Oh, fuck. It's just a video of Petey fucking talking about girls and what she wants in a girl.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember the one you're talking about.
And like divorced from or something. So yeah, I do think about that a lot, but I've like I've really shown like awful side, but I've really thrown some shit onto the wall over here. So yeah, if I ever become president, I feel like someone's gonna like end up finding this, and yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, does that even matter anymore? Like, you see the shit that's come out about Donald Trump, and like, he's still president, so.
That's very true.
And it would take a real autist to ignore all that content and just to.
Ha ha ha. Funny. So, okay, I'm trying to look. What's the question? What do you miss most about being the leader of a bunch of 12-year-olds?
You know, I don't even know how much of an impact I made, but I liked the feeling that at least in some cases I was making a positive impact on everyone else's lives. Maybe not everyone. Like one or two people, I don't know, that like they were growing up and maybe either having a hard time in school or just some other issues that kids deal with. And because I was always older and I always felt like the need to get involved in people's personal business because I'm like crazy like that. I'm insane. Like I was hoping that I could help people, and I think I missed that a lot. Like, I mean, there's easy answers too. Like, it was fun and it was cool to feel important, I guess. But like, I haven't really gotten to be a leader in any other role since then. Like, the Uncharted community would only pretty much know me as a leader, but in the real world, you know, I don't know, in my real life, I've kind of only been some guy. It was nice to feel like I was having an impact on other people's lives. I think I missed that a lot.
Yeah, especially when you talk about fucking someone's sister.
Well, see, here's the thing about that, all right? When you have sex with someone's sister, it really is the biggest compliment to the person's whose sister it is.
Why is it a compliment?
I mean, you think about it, you share like 99% of your DNA with your sister, right? So when Petey fucks your sister, what he's basically saying is that he wants to fuck you and that he enjoys fucking you.
It's deeper than that, really.
It's deeper than that. It's pretty deep, man. Fuck.
When I fuck your sister, it's really sort of a pity fuck. Like hey, you know, you're really fat and you're really unattractive and you have redeeming qualities. Favor here, and do the same for your brother. I would do the same for your brother, but you know, I don't.
He has a wiener.
Exactly. So it really is a big deal.
That's great to know.
I mean, that's. I don't think I could have put it better myself. To be honest.
Pete, trust me, I know you pity me. Let's talk about how many times you've been an asshole to me as a joke. I don't think it's all fucking night.
I feel like that was your little like, we're still friends, right? Like, let's talk about how many times you've been an asshole to me as a joke, right? You know, it's all jokes. And then wipe away a little tear.
You still love me, right?
I'm already wiping.
Right, Daddy Petey?
Daddy Petey? Petey, that's a great question for you.
Daddy
Since
Petey.
now you're in the real world, what are your thoughts on having kids and how old you should be? Or at least how old you want to be?
Man.
Wait, did you say how old they should be? Like how old the kids should
No,
be? I don't think that's how it works.
He should be.
Well, the kids should all be over 18, so I can legally film them in porn. No, I wouldn't fuck my own kids. Fucking each other.
Yeah, you're just the cameraman. That's fine.
Before I get to this question about kids, I wanna bring up a fun fact that I've been telling a lot of people, and I find it very interesting. All right, you ready? You guys know PornHub, right?
Yes, I do.
Of course.
Of course.
Well, I'm sure we're all aware of like this influx over the past year of a lot of incest porn. You know, all this stepbrother,
Yes.
other stuff. You know, all that nonsense, right?
Mhm.
Now, reason that stuff has surfaced so much is because on Pornhub there's a bunch of different categories. You know, there's teen, there's big tits, there's black, there's all that different stuff. Test category, right?
Mhm.
What happened is that people that wanted that type of porn, they were searching it. It became the most searched porn because people wouldn't search, you know, big tits. They would go to the categories. But if you needed incest porn, you'd search whatever, you know, stepsister gets fucked in the ass by horny 16-year-old brother or something. Why those videos started getting made more, because they had the analytics like, oh shit, everyone's searching for this fucking fucked up incest shit. And that's why they made so many more videos. They're also really hot, so they got really popular.
Okay, I've always wondered, do you think even the tiniest fraction of percent of those are actually real?
One or two few.
Like there's gotta be a couple, right?
I think a few slipped through the cracks, honestly. Thing, right? Everyone's got a kink. Everyone's got a kink.
What's your
And
Yeah.
Uncharted is my kink.
Dude, me too.
Donut Sully is your kink.
So, he's pretty hot.
Thing you could imagine someone's into. So I'm sure there's two people out there that are brother and sister, and their thing is like, oh, I just love the idea of us uploading a video onto PornHub of us fucking, and people thinking it's fake, but it's not. Like, they get really off on the idea of people watching them and thinking it's fake, but it's real.
Okay, so let's see. We've talked about Uncharted, talked about porn, we talked about incest.
Of course, we talked about porn.
So luckily, both of those topics were on our list.
Wait. I love when we're like, okay,
fuck.
or we need to make sure we don't talk about porn in this episode. And we
Hey, when did I say we don't have to talk about porn? I just said it can't get tasteless.
Dude.
I don't think incest porn falls under the category of tasteless.
How about we start talking about the editing contest explanation?
Oh, yeah. I know you said you wanted to bring this up. Also, shout out to Rubik's for being a total asshole. No, I'm just kidding. He wanted me to tell you that he was joking because I think he thought that you were actually, like, offended at him questioning your choice.
Okay, let me clear the air first of all. First of all, Rubik's is one of my most liked people from the Uncharted community. Like, I only ever really cool enjoyed his presence. And he was an amazing editor, and I think he was a better editor than you know.
That's true, yeah.
All that said, the issue that happened. What editing contest was this? Can you hear me, by the way? Because sometimes I get worried that I'm cutting out. All right, cool.
No, you're good now.
All right. So I think this was editing contest 5.0, or was it 4?
It was 4.
So regardless, editing contests, I think they had these preconceived ideas on what they should be like. And most Call of Duty editing contests, it was just uses these ridiculous effects the best, and who maybe there's a little bit of splash of creativity, but it was all the same shit anyways. And all well and good, but what I was trying to do with these editing contests was it was really more of an editing recruitment challenge. That might have been a better way to put it. And then I'm looking at who are people that I would want to be editing DeFi videos. And in terms of the things that everyone brought to the table for that editing contest, I thought Noah's was better than Rubik's. Showed he could do was edit a short and really interesting kind of, I don't know, stereotypical montage, or not even montage, just an edit that'll kind of blend in with the rest of the other minute long videos that everyone else is making. What he could do is take a shitload of clips and make a longer montage with a bunch of different parts, and I don't even, I would have been better at explaining this a while ago, which I know I did do a while ago.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Reiterating my point is just that even if Rubik's is required more editing skills, I thought Noah's was the one that implied he could actually do a better job making montages for DeFi. I also thought it was a more entertaining video, but that's all subjective anyways, so I can't really argue over which one's more entertaining.
Yeah,
I thought Noah deserved second place, and that is why he will always deserve second place. But I mean, in the end, Coast definitely deserved first because his was just 100 billion times better than everyone else's.
Well, yeah, his was Rubik's edit times 100.
Fair though, you had it. You had an edge on Coast. I don't know. You had an edge on his video in that yours were at least different enough that they're harder to compare. Coast's were basically attempting the same thing, but Coast just did a better job.
Coos.
That's the thing, I really enjoy his edits. I thought they were all great, but I have a really hard time telling them apart because they're all pretty similar. They all kind of do the same thing.
And this ties into us talking about Gravity before. And I mean, maybe it's a bit unfair to use this as an example because it's such a long montage and it got so many views, so obviously everyone remembers it. But I don't know, the fact of the matter is that the videos that, whatever, I'll say connected editors, if you remember that, the type of videos those types of people were making were all worthwhile, and I have respect for them going out having fun and putting effort into making stuff. But they all kind of blend in together because they were all pretty much going for the same thing and really simple in that regard. But a montage like Gravity, which requires a completely different skill set from the one Rubik's displayed, but this skill set closer to what Noah displayed, because there's something more to it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that might have been one of the advantages of me coming to the community late, was I was just like, I didn't really have an idea of what made a good clip, or how people edited montages and stuff. I just kind of did what I thought looked good, and I don't know. I'm glad you liked it, I guess.
Absolutely. I mean, I liked everyone's stuff, but
except trust that people got mad at, apparently.
Dude,
do you remember that? Fucking, everyone thought Trust deserved to win, and
they thought he deserved over Cozy in no fucking way. No offense to Trust, he's a great editor now, but
I feel like I'm remembering this now. But yeah, oh my god, I think I remember this. Trust had so much support, and I thought it was mental, and I was like, I was tempted to do an analysis video of why his montage edit whatever was actually not even that good, and he became amazing. So I don't even feel so bad, but I'm sure we could all look back on it now, and you see all these people saying coming back to me now, they were like, where's Trust? Trust was incredible. Yeah. It's like, dude, his video is ass.
I know.
Literally, yeah. It was my early edits too. It just fucking he had good ideas, but it wasn't well done. And I feel like it must have just been his friends all wanting him to get into DeFi or something.
No,
he knew a bunch of people in the community.
Yeah. It was just, which is fine, but it definitely didn't convince me.
No, and they got even more mad when it wasn't. People went fucking.
Oh yeah, because it wasn't even in the top 5, was it? Or
no, it wasn't even in the honorable mentions.
Oh my god! But yeah,
it was so bad, dude. First of all, the song choice was absolute shit.
I don't remember what the song was like.
And the fucking he cut out half of each clip. And showed off 3 kills in each clip, and it was I remember it was so bad. It didn't even look like Uncharted 3 mod. It just looked like something he threw together. And
yeah, Trust, if you're listening to this now, no hate on you, because your newer shit is really, really good.
Legendary is one of the best Uncharted 3 montage editing wise, for sure.
I also thought Pat was really underrated. If we're talking about old editors,
yeah, he was underrated.
The thing is, I feel like I never in my mind underrated him. I always thought Pat was one of the best. But I know you mean in the grand scheme of things, I feel like Pat deserves a lot more credit, especially because he carried Rise.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oreo didn't even edit that much. I think Trust ended up helping with Rise too.
Yeah, it was him and Trust.
Oreo who? Who the fuck are you talking about?
What's his name? I don't even.
Dude, no, he fucked. Yeah, he was so inconsistent.
Hey, me.
Pat was great. Pat has some amazing edits under his belt.
He does. I remember. What was it? Their live clip hunting #2. That edit. Oh my god, that was so fucking. That was his first edit that just came out of nowhere. That was just so fucking good.
Where he got the crazy clip too.
Yeah, the fucking run on clip.
Kept going. That was a Wi-Fi clip. That was a good Wi-Fi clip.
Yeah. True.
Those who don't understand, Wi-Fi was just the type of dude to send me, because I was always recording the clips, for the time at a time.
Yeah.
He was the type of dude to send me a clip that he was like, dude, sick clip. I got a 10 not alive, and it's just 2 minutes. 5 not alive, and then another slow 5 not alive, and it's all split feed M9 blind fire. It's oh yeah, nice 10 not alive.
That reminds me of the kids who used to make rampant edits, where actually Cole and I did this too on his old CJK channel, where it was just a bunch of individual kills, and they just put a little crossfade in between them and just make a 5-minute video out of it.
And but those were good times. See, I miss that stuff because it felt stuff going on YouTube for there to be like the good content too, because then it feels like there's a big picture to everything.
Mm-hmm. It felt like for a while, like everything was building, and like you were saying before about clip standards getting ridiculously high, like it felt like for those few years, like every single time something came out, it like just blew away everything in the past, and like it was cool to kind of see that progression. And I feel like you don't really get that kind of thing from the bigger game communities like COD and stuff like that, because there's always so many people making shit, and like the community's more fragmented.
I agree. I mean, now there's not even. Well, there probably is. I'm lying to myself if I say the COD community doesn't exist.
But not in the same way. Not even like commentaries really as much.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anybody making COD World War II edits. At least.
No.
FaZe made a few,
Very,
but like not that
very
many.
few people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say though that there's I want to talk about three more things, 3 mini rants. You guys can tell me what order to go in. One, I want to say something about Legacy. I want to say something about Uncharted 4, and I want to say something about RobinGaming.
When you originally came up with the Defiance idea, you had, these huge grand plans for it, and how it was gonna like revitalize the community and be an amazing thing. And I was just wondering now, like that you've looked back on how it all ended up, coming out. Like, do you think that was still the right choice to make?
Right. Okay, that's a good question. This will probably turn into me just like talking for a while, so if I say anything stupid or if something dumb happens, just cut in. But I do definitely have thoughts. It's just gonna kind of be a stream of conscious here. So here we go. Decision to form the Defiance, but I also think that there was a sacrifice that was made that maybe didn't need to be made. I think the direction everything was going in, each clan was really kind of weak, and there wasn't a lot going on for any of them because there was multiple clans like Nobody, Rise, Fate maybe, or Lure. Yeah, Fate was there. I think Lure was pretty much gone. But the point is that all these clans existed towards the end of Uncharted 3, kind of flailing around, and DeFi still had some decent assets. We still had some people that could make videos, but we weren't going to be like a great channel by any means. It wasn't going to be like Uncharted 3.
Mm-hmm.
So if we went into Uncharted 4, which now we know also was kind of a disappointment anyways, that like, people were going to complain about this game. I don't think I think those clans would have shut down and people would have either joined DeFi because they didn't have a clan, or they would have just like, I don't know, quit. And I think it would have ended a lot sooner. That there's the chance that like maybe a few cool team stuff would have happened, which I think people might have liked. If we could say like, oh, I loved that, Nobody Uncharted 4 edit that they did when the game first came out. Like we're kind of deprived of that because everything became associated with DeFi. So that is unfortunate, but I still think that like the Uncharted 4 stuff went on for as long as it did into one team. Like I don't think it would have happened otherwise.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
I don't know. That's how it feels. In general, though, with Uncharted 4, I think see it having gone any differently. I feel like the game had and has so much potential. Like it's a really fun game to play. Clip hunting is meh on it, and the cinema mode is like worse than in Uncharted 3.
Oh god, the cinema mode is disgusting. Are you kidding? You can't even do slow motion. It's like choppy.
Yeah. So I completely get why like this stuff just didn't click. Like I think if we really, really wanted it to, we could have found a way. Like if Uncharted 4 was the first Uncharted game that we were all doing this for, we would have found a way to make it work. Like it's not impossible to make it work. But I guess we were very privileged to have Uncharted 3, which in retrospect was like an incredible stuff for. Like there was so much stuff that we could take out of it, from the feeds to the jump snipes to the cinema mode. Like we had everything there that we needed. So and free to play, of course, filling our lobbies with like stupid noobs. That was amazing.
True.
That's true. Nobody thinks about that, but that probably helped out a lot with the clips in the later years.
Oh, trust me, that made a huge difference. And the player base was just big all the way through. With Uncharted 4, I mean, there was never a player base issue, but like there's just some really bad tryhards. Like there's a lot of stuff holding back that game from being as good as Uncharted 3 was for all the clip hunting stuff. So I can understand why people were like demotivated and it just didn't click. which is a shame. I wish like all it would have taken really is if we had like 4 or 5 people that were so into it, and one of them being like a amazing editor. And like I think we had that, but I think we needed a small group of people could have just rode that game to the top. But because freaking oh my god, Nick A30, see he had an Uncharted 4 montage too, which is crazy, and now he's like a top Fortnite streamer. I don't even really know if that means anything in terms of what Uncharted 4 could have been. That's just like a random anecdote. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like crazy to think people were playing the game and there was potential for it to get viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's Uncharted 4.
Yeah. I still don't know what to really think about all that. I think it just hit at the wrong time. Like, people were already so tired of Uncharted 3, and I think a lot of the great people in the community were already on their way out. So by the time it came up,
No, it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough to keep them interested. That was the problem.
yeah, and I think people were resistant to the change too. And it's sad because I actually really liked editing Uncharted 4. I've been trying to get people to send me some clips in the Defiance, like, so I can make another little edit, because it's nice, to switch it up. But yeah,
absolutely.
It's kind of sad how that.
No, I mean
turned
it is
out.
fun to edit.
Yeah,
I think another factor in that also too, and you basically said this, is that like we were expecting Uncharted 4 to come out way sooner. I remember like back when DeFi started, we were like, oh yeah, probably just another year and a half before like we get that. Like we really thought that like we were going to be doing it for the leg of Uncharted 3. Like literally when DeFi started, that was part of the plan. It was like, oh yeah, Uncharted 4, we'll be ready for it. But it was such a big delay that I think everyone was just tired out. We could talk about Legacy unless you have another question.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So here's my thoughts on Legacy. First of all, I think it was a perfectly solid montage. I didn't comment on it, and there's a reason I didn't upload a face cam. Actually, before I even say the reason, though, I just want to especially shout out to Stingy. I don't really. It's like crazy to me, in the same way that like you guys are still making Uncharted videos right now, and it's like, man, random people to just survive. I feel like Stingy became like this random legend of DeFi. Everyone like you have Jultra and Kim and Meek Hills, all these dudes, like these powerhouse dudes from the early days. But like, if you look at the history of DeFi, it'll go down that like Stingy was like, the last like badass montage editor. And badass just in terms of that, like he was definitely grinding and putting his all in there and like doing his best. I think it's Jasmine also helped with that one, and Trust. Wait, was it Trust?
Just edited the introductory part.
Right. And I'm going to say, yeah, Trust did edit, which I think, to be fair, was my favorite part, the Uncharted 3 part, but that might just be because it was the game. Trust, awesome editor, but like, it's just so clear that Stingy was like the one trying to carry the team.
Yeah.
So yeah, Stingy is just incredible, and you got to give him a lot of respect for like to make a difference. But for Legacy specifically, I know this will sound like really stupid, but I watched it all. When the name Legacy popped up at the end, and then right after it said directed by Walter Hazard.
Oh, that pissed me off.
Here's the thing. I love Walter Hazard. I think he was always such a cool guy. I haven't really talked to him in a while. Such a cool guy. But I just do not get what he was thinking. This is supposed to be the final Uncharted montage. This is supposed to end DeFi, which has like a history of so many different people and whatever. And I was very appreciative that they gave me a shout out. And I'm happy that they did. I don't understand what was going through his head. I'm like, Waltu, come on, man. Like, what is even directed? Since when did we ever put a director for montages like this? Like, I know when he made his cinematic stuff, it was like directed by, and it was like, all right, I can get behind that. But how do you direct a montage?
I know. No, I was telling Noah about that. I was saying like Legacy, the fact that they made the montage, yeah, that's good. But the fucking end credits, they could have done so much more with that, as opposed to saying this was directed by Walter Hazard. They could have fucking put players on the screen, editors on the screen, fucking players that have gone through the community, like impactful people. But they didn't do that. They put on the tiniest roster that was existent at that time, which were all a bunch of nobodies. And then yeah, they shout out like you, Sushi, and Elias or whatever, and then Nikos and blah blah. And then Walter Hazard mentioned his close friends or whatever. But yeah, the fact that I think Walter Hazard just wanted to take credit for it. I don't know why though.
I don't
That
think
was
he
bad.
necessarily wanted to take credit for it. I just think he just put the like people who he knew best, like the people who helped him out. Like I think they should have put like every person who's been part of DeFi over the years. Like I think it deserved that kind of send off and like the recognition for everybody. But it was a really odd choice. But I'm not like super upset over it.
No, I'm not upset either. And I think it was an odd choice. And I think when you what the video represents to me, it's definitely, I mean, it's the last video, but it didn't feel like it was necessarily like this big, absolute, like, this is everything coming to an end. It was like almost like a little slice. It was clearly Walter Hazard's slice, his perspective on DeFi. And it's like, this is ending. I don't know, all the people that were like there at the end, which was like a lot of people that weren't even there the whole time. A lot of people were only there for like whatever, a year or a few months even on it ending. But it didn't really feel like it was capturing like, the glory days, like reminding me of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't really capture the actual channel itself very well.
Yeah, I think it captured what like the Defiance became, but it didn't really do a good job of honoring what we used to be.
Yeah, no, exactly. It didn't, just because, I guess I can say I'm one of the people that is more familiar with what DeFi actually even is. And that montage didn't necessarily feel like that. But also, I have to say, like, I feel bad just sitting here shit talking it, because I respect the fact that these people went out of their way to like attempt to do something very important, because ending a channel on a good note is important. And it's still like a quality enough video, and there's some really amazing clips in there. At the very least, those clips are really impressive. So, I'm happy that there's people there to put an effort. I guess in that regard, DeFi definitely was about, just a bunch of people trying to have fun and make these videos. So I'm happy they did it, but there's definitely flaws with it.
Yeah.
But I think considering where it was going, I think they pretty much did like the best job that they could have.
They definitely did what was best possible.
Yeah.
All right, so
Can you hear me?
yeah, you named off your 3 things you want to talk about. What was your second thing?
See, and then RobinGaming.
The Naughty Dog agenda, was that the video you're talking about?
Yeah, it's that one. It's that one.
For any of our viewers who haven't watched this yet, essentially, he was just going over, like, a lot of people on Twitter were mad that they think that Naughty Dog is kind of shoehorning diversity in their political views into the game. And he kind of just made a little video talking about why he thought that it was a little bit heavy-handed. I didn't watch the whole thing, so that's just kind of what I got from the first few minutes of it. But basically, he was just kind of a little bit heated, and he thinks that they're focusing more on their agenda than they are on necessarily delivering a great story and a great experience. And yeah, does that pretty much cover like what he talked about in the video?
Yeah, that's a very good summary.
I didn't even watch the video. But yeah.
It's not so important. I just want to get it out there because I just watched it today and I feel like I have thoughts.
All right, go for it. I could have sworn he posted a follow-up and then deleted it from his channel. But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
RobinGaming. Before I even get to that video, I just want to say, RobinGaming has like never really even cared about DeFi related stuff like the montage community. To be honest, like he have anything too much against him personally, but I always sort of felt like he should have given me a little bit more of like, I don't know, a chance or credit or something, because there was a few times I reached out to him and just tried to even talk to him, but he didn't want to collaborate. He didn't want to act like we existed, and I was a little disappointed because I feel like he could have been a really important community liaison, someone who respects, like, hey, I like video games. These guys clearly like video games. We like the same video game. We are all on YouTube. Like, let's try to get something going, because he had the fan base to really help out DeFi, to care or want to help. And that was always very unfortunate. Now, I only preface with that because I wouldn't go out of my way to mention RobinGaming now, but I've always sort of had that like, man, what's up with this guy type deal. Every now and then I would visit his channel and just see what's going on with him. And he's very successful. He's got like 100,000 subscribers now, and he's definitely putting a lot of work into YouTube. And I respect that. And I imagine he's changed anyways. So the way that he was when he had 10,000 subscribers is barely even relevant. Video and the stuff he was saying, I just felt like this does get into sort of political-esque stuff, or at least social justice stuff, which I know not everyone would agree with me with. So this is a very subjective opinion that, you guys can feel free to disagree with. But I just feel like I gotta get it out there because RobinGaming has such a big reach, and I read the comments on his videos, and I could just get the sense that this is all like really like younger people, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds listening to this video and feeling like RobinGaming is some like god of logic and reason with the stuff that he's saying. And it's like worshiping him, like, yes, finally someone saying the truth. And I'm a little concerned that like this guy is to say these things that are a little, questionable, and then he all of a sudden he has all his fans running with his ideology. So is that he made this, and the real issue with this is that it's a shitty video. It's 20 minutes of him talking, and he did a decent job editing the clips together, but there's no format to it, and he's just kind of repeating over kind of the same points, and he's touching upon different things, but there's like no format to it. So if you went and watched this video, you just got to kind of sit there for the different things he touches upon, and almost by the end you got like a general idea of how he feels, but you don't even really completely understand because he just didn't like format such a video. Okay, you with me so far? I feel like I've just been rambling.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah,
and how I used to do these commentaries, I just kind of talk sometimes. Okay. Anyways, the thing that I disagree with that RobinGaming said, or that RobinGaming, his point, is that he feels like Naughty Dog is sacrificing quality for this agenda. Feelings are that I haven't really sacrificed any quality, that these stories are, they always have been, and he was speculating that like The Last of Us 2 is already potentially going to be ruined, which I feel like is just an unfair speculation because the game isn't out yet. And of course this is in reference to like the fact that whatever, the gender and sexuality equality and all that stuff, like they're trying to portray too many gay characters in their games, and that's holding stories. And it's such a minor thing, but I feel like he's missing the point that those things in games, even if it feels I think is part of sort of progress. I think to feel forced if you're going to include them at this point, because there's one thing that's the norm, and then one thing that people would like to become closer to the norm truly cares about this. And I don't think you can discredit people for caring about that stuff. Like, you could either be the type of person that says, I want more equality in the world, like I support equality, but I don't want any, influencers to do anything about it. Or you could be the type of person that says like, yeah, influencers should, step in and try to support this very positive movement. So the fact that you have a video game company that has a very big reach and trying to impact the world by creating a video game and having these very inclusive stories, even if you're going to say like it seems unnatural and it seems like they're trying too hard and that they're pandering, it's like I feel like they're accomplishing something way more than just being like, no, yeah, instead of pandering, let's just stick to the normal type of story. So I don't know. He's saying that it sacrifices quality. What his argument stands on, that like because they're throwing in these characters, they're ruining the integrity of these stories. I'm just completely misquoting him. If he watches this podcast, which he won't.
No.
If you do, Robin, please collab with us. We'd love to have you on the podcast sometime. You can come defend your talking points.
I mean, I feel bad if I just kind of just like took this podcast and started rambling about the stuff that's on my mind right now.
No,
Because
that's
and
fine.
if you have to, if
No, I
if you have to
agree. I
edit some of
agree
this
with what
out,
you're saying.
that's basically what I'm saying.
Well, no, I'm happy to have some kind of, semi mature discussion about this sort of stuff. And I feel like honestly this whole controversy around The Last of Us 2 has just it's been ridiculous. I think where he's going wrong with the videos, he's assuming that just because it's inclusive or just because Ellie's a lesbian, which by the way we already knew from the DLC that that's automatically gonna
Yeah.
make the game weaker just because it centers around mostly female characters or something like that. And like the reality is art and storytelling like this, it's always been politically motivated. I don't think it's anything, not motivated, that's the wrong word, but it's always been influenced by the opinions of the creators. And I don't think it's makes sense to just say, oh well, I hate that you're trying to force this down my throat. I think you're gonna distract us from the gameplay or something like that. Sorry, I just totally went off topic there, but I think we should give them the benefit of the doubt. They have a great track record, and I don't think it's fair to automatically say that just because they want to include diversity in their game that's automatically gonna hurt or detract from the story. And like if you think about it from a girl gamer's perspective, she's used to playing all these games that have, for the most part, an all male cast. And like does that necessarily make the game any worse? No. I think it's great to represent more people and make more people feel included.
Yeah, but not
Good.
in yeah, and on top of that, just like it'll make the game different in another aspect. Like The Last of Us 2, fuck, we already all know it's going to be an amazing game, but the fact that now they're going to be exploring a little bit something different that most games don't really do, then that's going to make it that much better, hopefully. And yeah, we definitely should give them the benefit of the doubt and not fucking say, oh, well, since we have two lesbos, it's going to be a horrible game. No, that's fucking stupid.
Exactly. And the other thing that I think he's missing is that like the original Last of Us, it had a bunch of, characters. Like it was pretty diverse too. Like well obviously, Joel and Tess were in the first part of the game. Ellie was like, basically the main character. Bill, the guy you meet, he was gay. And like, did any of that hurt the story? No, because they did it in a way that was inclusive but not ham-fisted. And I have a feeling that that's going to be just like this game. Like, I don't think they're going to stop to draw attention to like Ellie's sexual orientation every 2 minutes and take us out of the game, because for them their main goal is just creating a good experience. And if that happens to be diverse, why is that a bad thing?
I mean, honestly, the game's probably going to be kick-ass, and like, the story will be the story that it is. Whoever ends up being gay, then it's just like, I don't know. I really doubt that it's going to take so much away from everything else. And in fact, it will probably just advance the story as much as if she was straight. I have a feeling that you could probably cut out, like, cut and paste, this female character could be a male character, and it's the same exact thing. And if it's the same exact thing, then, and you're criticizing it for being gay, then you're basically saying, well, I would prefer if it was, heterosexual and the norm. And I'm not accusing anyone of being homophobic or anything, but I'm just saying you have to realize that, like, maybe you're in this stance not because you actually care about the integrity of the game, but because you have this like reflex ingrained inside of you that, like, if people are trying to advance like this potential thing, and some of the attention's a little bit off you, raged for no particular great reason.
Exactly. And it goes back to what we were talking about before about how people hate change, and just because this game is doing something slightly different from the norm, like people are gonna hate against it and find reasons to point out why they think that's bad. And
By no means, like, I really get super frustrated when people just misunderstand video games, and they're just like, video games are misogynistic, and they ruin the world, and women are oppressed. And like, I mean, it doesn't have to be women, it could be anyone. But when people say stupid shit like that, like, I think that's the worst, because it gives these good causes like a really bad voice, and it makes people like there's a boomerang effect to it. All of a sudden you see these people online and you're like, wait a minute, no, those people are dumb. Video games are perfect the way they are, and anyone who wants to change them is dumb. And I feel like now all of a sudden you have like a cult of people with this mindset that like social justice warrior, whatever, like they're ruining everything. And I feel like RobinGaming is getting not he was being a little bit more mature than that, but he was getting close to being the type of person that is actually missing the point of social justice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just like the extremists on both sides who are honestly hurting progress more than anything, because people just need to kind of chill out.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the big takeaway here, and the reason why I went on minutes discussing this, because I just think people do need to chill out, and I don't like the fact that RobinGaming, with 100,000 subscribers and all these people that he influences, 20 minutes long to discuss why he thinks like there's something wrong going on. That's a little detrimental. That was topic number 3 that I wanted to go over.
All right, well, we can wrap it up then. It is 12:30.
Oh fuck! I didn't even notice. God, I gotta be up in 6 hours, huh?
But you could just tell them that you were talking to Petey, and they'll understand, right?
True. I'll tell them, sorry guys, I can't come into work. Gotta edit the podcast I made with Petey. You're fine with that, right?
Oh, and don't even mention my name. You mentioned my name, look, I'm mad.
Oh, true. I'd be like, oh wait, fucking Cole's on that. Oh, fuck you. Never mind. You're fired. Why would you associate with those kind of people? You fucking asshole.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Well, I'm at my dad's farm, so probably doing shit around the farm.
Is he gonna see you?
Collecting some eggs.
Some eggs, eh?
Yeah.
You're so into just fucking chickens or something.
Dude, my dad has like 80 chickens.
So your dad's into fucking chickens, is what you're saying?
No.
I mean, I don't think that would even work.
Would work. You just got how you like pop their head off?
What the fuck? Oh,
you pop the head off and the body's still alive, and then you put the head up the ass, and then you fuck the neck hole of the head.
What? So you put the head up the ass and then you stick your dick inside all of that? What? Just to make it just extra tight?
Like them reaching around and like pecking at you.
Also, Petey, I have to say you're the only person I know who can go from a super serious discussion on social issues to talking about decapitating and fucking chickens in like 30 seconds.
That's so true.
You gotta not take anything seriously in life.
Words to live by.
Normal's boring, Petey. Exactly. You're right. I remember you told me that once.
I don't remember saying it, but I'm glad it stuck with you because it's very true.
Yeah. Well, no, it did stick with me. Like dead ass, like off podcast here, it legit did stick with me. Like after you said that to me, I don't know when you did. I think it was sometime I think it was when I was taking over like the clips and shit for Defiance, and I was being like a way bigger role in that. We ended up talking about random bullshit, and then you mentioned that in some fucking way, and then I was like, oh, you know what, you're right.
That's the thing. I feel like everybody's secretly like kind of insane, and everyone's just trying to act normal.
Petey's the opposite of that.
Yeah,
super normal, but I'm just.
I feel like
right. Yeah, Petey, your worst fear is that people are gonna find out that you're just like a normal guy.
Yeah, right. Like I have this whole normal secret life that I'm just doing everything that you would expect me to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm some madman on the line.
All right. Well, you guys want to wrap it up?
I'd say I gotta get to sleep, and so does Noah and Cole. You probably got some incest porn to get to, so.
True.
That's very true, dude. I can't watch it. I'm sleeping in the fucking living room on the couch. I can't watch that shit.
So, what's wrong with that? It's not like your dad's never heard you jerk off before.
The fucking no.
So, Petey, thanks for coming on the podcast. This has actually been really fun. And yeah,
Pleasure. So maybe I will return and we could have a more organized discussion. I don't even know. It doesn't matter. We can do more.
We tried. We had some topics, but clearly that wasn't
My
enough.
favorite-
cut that
my
in the middle of
favorite-
it too.
Clearly we underestimated you.
My favorite was the incest part. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna contact Pornhub about that. You know what? I'm gonna complain. I'm like, I'm canceling my premium membership until you add a fucking incest section, okay?
You pay for the premium?
No, but they had a 1 month free trial, and I mean, it's free. Why the fuck not?
Yo, Petey, I have a question for you. So Noah and I were finishing that Uncharted addiction video, right? And we're on his computer searching shit up. And
Oh,
he
fuck
fucking
off. Oh my fucking god. Alright, fucking whatever. Tell him I don't
he
care.
opens his fucking Google Chrome by mistake, and all you see are these fucking like dozens of Pornhub tabs on the fucking top.
They weren't tabs, they were bookmarks. And I'm trying to tell you, bro. I use a separate browser for that, because that way it's not clogging up my history in Safari, because I don't want some girl to be on my laptop like working on a school project and try to search for fucking chicken and end up seeing like chick gets fucking railed by 8 black guys, 4 of them in the ass or some shit like that. But I also want to be able to, you know, save good shit, so it only makes sense to use another browser. Like, am I wrong?
Petey, do you use like Google Chrome or anything else like specifically just for porn like Noah does? Or?
I use incognito.